From Bengal to Gujarat. From Maharashtra to Karnataka. Who's stoking festival fury?
There have always been sporadic tensions on Indian festivals, especially like Ram Navami, in some part of the country, maybe one or two places, and it's never been anything very, very serious until last year in Jahangirpuri in Delhi, and in this year it has spread to at least 6 states across the country, from north to south and east to west. On 5 Live today, I'm going to show you every single image. I'm going to take you to the ground so you can see it for yourself. And I'm going to bring in our reporters live from each of those trouble spots to tell you and try and figure who stoked the violence and is there a pattern. I'm Shiv. This is 5 Live. Thanks for being with me. These are the headlines. Politics over India's new parliament building day after Prime Minister's surprise visit. Congress calls the project a waste of money but gets totally exposed for Jairam Ramesh's comments in 2012 where he said India badly needs a new parliament. No relief for former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, no bail for Manish Sisodia in the CBI Liquorgate case. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Man's daughter Seerath gets threats from Khalistan thugs. Hunt for fugitive Amrit Pal hits 2 weeks and counting. Donald Trump indicted after probe into hush money paid to porn star Stormy Daniels. Trump becomes the first former US president to face criminal charges. He will be arrested on Tuesday. It's India's biggest fashion moment ever. India arrives on the world fashion stage. Dior, the luxury brand, rides on the coattails of a rising India with a mesmerizing show debuting in Mumbai. Violence, arson, vandalism, stone pelting, and all manner of tension in not 1, not 2, but as many as 6 states all across the country. Was there a pattern to it? Who stoked the violence? Was it different groups in different places, or was it one? The question now is, several different investigations, several different arrests have taken place in all of the locations that you see around me. And here on 5 Live, I'm about to take you to each one of these areas to get you a live report. Since Ram Navami yesterday, there are tensions continuing to prevail in some of these places. Let's start with the images from every one of these troubled hotspots in different parts of the country. Starting with West Bengal, that's been continuously on the boil amidst clashes over Ram Navami celebrations. Here's a look coming in from there in Howrah. The situation has further escalated today as well when a violent mob went on a rampage, pelting stones and vandalizing properties. The city on the outskirts of Kolkata remains on edge over violence during Ram Navami procession that took place yesterday. The Bengal police have upped their vigil as an uneasy calm prevails over the entire state. In Howrah, a flag march, as you can see here, was conducted. Riot control forces had to be deployed, but local residents were seen asking the police to go back. India Today's reporter and crew were among those heckled by a violent mob in Howrah, as you can see in these images. The mob could be seen trying to break India Today's camera equipment. Apart from covering the violence, that was unfurled. Clashes were also reported in West Bengal's Dalkola city, where miscreants were seen pelting stones at a Ram Navami rally. One person was killed while several others were injured after a clash erupted between the two communities. Now let's take you first to location number one, hotspot number one, which is Howrah in Bengal. It's a city on the outskirts of Kolkata. And the reason we're starting with it is because Ram Navami was yesterday, but the tension continues to prevail in Howrah today as well. Things are tense as a fresh incident of stone pelting was witnessed in the city a day after high-octane drama unfurled in Howrah district during that Ram Navami procession on Thursday. An incident of fresh violence was reported despite heavy police deployment, including riot control force in the area. Well, pictures of the incident show large violence unfurling as the mob went on a rampage, throwing stones, vandalizing properties and even attacking sections of the media, that is India Today. Meanwhile, the West Bengal police also conducted a flag march in Howrah after violence during the Ram Navami procession. Clashes also erupted between two communities in Dalkola, as we just told you, in which one person died and several others have sustained serious injuries. Meanwhile, Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, in an exclusive conversation to India Today's Rajdeep Sardesai, blamed the BJP squarely for the violence, saying it was the BJP, which is the main opposition party in Bengal, that had planned the violence. BJP leaders have hit back at Mamata, questioning the law and order under her command.
Only to save her vote bank, she is doing this type of unethical, unhealthy job in West Bengal. Same Mamata Banerjee, same.
तो हमेशा वोट बैंक के पॉलिटिक्स के लिए, तुष्टीकरण के पॉलिटिक्स के लिए हमेशा ममता बनर्जी उन लोगों के साथ रहते हैं। लेकिन जो लोग नवरात्रि मनाते हैं, 9 दिन फास्टिंग में रहते हैं, रामनवमी का जुलूस पूजा करते हैं, उन लोगों के लिए कभी ममता बनर्जी ने आवाज़ नहीं उठाया है। और जैसा पश्चिम बंगाल में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का सिचुएशन जैसा खराब हो गया है, इसके लिए हम लोग को लगता है कि एक मुख्यमंत्री होने के बावजूद भी, एक स्वराष्ट्र मंत्री, होम मिनिस्टर होने के बावजूद भी, ऐसा जो सिचुएशन पश्चिम बंगाल में बार बार होता है, उसको रिजाइन देना चाहिए।
Quick news break on the political eruption over what's happening on Ram Navami in Bengal. Union Minister Anurag Thakur has just attacked Mamata Banerjee. He says the Ram Navami clashes in Bengal under the Mamata government. Journalists have been attacked, says Anurag Thakur. Take a listen. Take a look at this report and what the minister has just said.
There's an altercation. A heated altercation. Of course, they are agitated and angry. So, heated altercation underway between the police and the protesters out here. There is ADG Law and Order of West Bengal. There is the Police Commissioner of Howrah, Praveen Tripathi, and there is a huge police force. So there is STF, there is the Commando Force, there is the Rapid Action Force, all in riot gear, as you can see, with lathis in their hand, and they are trying to convince the crowd to go home. They're saying, go home. That is what they're saying. Go home. Do not stay outside. Please go home. So they're asking the police, they're asking the media, angry on the media as well, of course. You know, they're saying, please go home.
बंगाल के चुनाव हो तो उसके बाद भी हजारों लोगों के ऊपर पथराव, आगजनी, बम फेंकना ये आम सी बात बन गई है। और ममता जी के राज में जिस तरह से पत्रकारों पर हमले हुए, शोभा यात्रा रामनवमी की निकालते हुए उन पर पथराव हुआ है, इससे ज़्यादा शर्मनाक और क्या होगा कि अगर पत्रकारों को भी हिंसा का शिकार होना पड़ता है, लहूलुहान होना पड़ता है और राज्य की सरकार मूक दर्शक बन के बैठी रहती है, आंखें बंद करके रखती है, तो इसकी जितनी निंदा की जाए उतनी कम है।
Let's go straight across to the ground in Howrah, where India Today's Suryagni Roy has been there. Suryagni, you know, earlier today there were lots of tension, tense moments when India Today's crew came under attack as well. What's the current situation?
Well, Shiv, it's a situation of very uneasy calm, as you rightly mentioned. It was almost similar to what we had witnessed last evening when the violence had stopped, but tensions were simmering pretty high. till morning today, like till let's say around 11ish or 12ish, when we were there, things were, turning back to normal, and we were live broadcasting from that very market where the marketplace was opening. Police were deployed, police were route marching. People were coming out and buying their usual stuff because it was in the middle of a marketplace and a residential area. Suddenly something, it's still not clear what exactly had happened that led to the fresh round of stone pelting today, post 12ish, and since then things heated up a lot. But thankfully, the police was able to push back these people, and as of now, Shiv, the situation looks a bit better than what it was a couple of hours back. Shiv,
glad to hear it's a little bit better. Hopefully there are no more flare-ups, but things continue to be tense as they usually are. I've covered, incidents of this kind, communal tension, upheavals between communities, especially during festivals. And I can tell you it's a huge challenge for the police to continue to keep the peace. So we, from our end as well, are appealing to all sides to please maintain calm. One person has already lost his life in clashes that took place elsewhere in Bengal. India Today's Rajdeep had a conversation with State Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee just a short while ago in this big exclusive. Take a look at this.
Actually, you know that 48 hours I was in Dharna for the demand of West Bengal and to save the democracy of this country. I was on the road, and I am asking all the people, all the community caste together from since 72 hours that please maintain peace. We are not stopping any Ram Navami rally or any Ramadan, nothing. You do it peacefully, we will give you all support. Even our people also done the rally, but there is no problem. But BJP planned it. They had a plan about 1 month, and they will disturb the country when they did not counter the Adani two others, LIC. When they cannot counter the opposition parties, how they are interfering in it through ED and CBI, then they have chosen the right way, the dangas, so that they can create the violence. After that, they will send the central teams in the name of so-called BJP, and they will send the NIA, and they will go to the court, and they will give some direction against Sopas. This is their plan. And this plan we came to know earlier. So there was a plan, there is a plan to create the violence in 100 places in Bengal also. What they have done was across the country, 100 places, they have created this communal rights. Now in our state, fortunately, I said fortunately, we were alert, and that's why we didn't allow any place except Howrah, when same place, yes, earlier also they created the confusion. Now this time we said it is denied, the permission is denied. I don't tell them that in the name of Dharma you do the rally. I didn't stop them. But you see the picture will speak itself, that how they went there along with revolver, the petrol bomb, the everything, and they attacked the minorities community. जानबूझ के कि उसको रमजान मास चल रहा है, इसी के लिए उधर से पहले प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेंगे, उसको पिटाएंगे, बुलडोज करेंगे, उसको एक्सपोज करेंगे, उसको बाद चैनल को बोलेंगे कि देखो इनको पता चल रहा है. I don't consider them as Hindu. They are the criminals. The criminals have no religious identity. So what they have done, we are taking a strong action, very strong action. We are helping all the minority people whose houses has been burned, whose shops has been broken. BJP will create the dangas, and if you support, then they will take the advantage. Don't give any advantage to these criminals. And we have already arrested 31%, and we will take strong action who have done this wrong thing under the leadership of BJP, local BJP leadership. I really feel sorry. It's a plan for BJP to disturb the Bengal. पहले इकोनॉमिक ब्लॉकेज करो, उसको बाद कम्युनल राइट्स लगाओ, उसको बाद बंगाल को डिस्टर्ब करो. They do not know if Bengal is disturbed, the country is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, the country is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, Bangladesh is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, Nepal is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, then Bhutan is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, then other parts also will be disturbed. They do not know. They are doing this blunder intentionally, deliberately. I condemned their attitude, and I will appeal all the political parties, even from Tamil Nadu Stalin to Arvind, to KCR, to Jagan, to Hemant, to Naveenji, to Nitishji, to all the opposition parties. Be together, Udhav, Akhilesh, Tejasvi, all be together. Let us fight the battle strongly against of this BJP. Let them be isolated from the country, because they will be isolated. Everybody, they don't allow the press to show our program. Give the instruction to the press people. Don't show the dharna of Mamata Banerjee. They cannot stop me like this. If they stop like this, don't you think we have our constitutional rights, our democratic rights, our voice? But they are bulldozing all the rights. That's why this is the time. Let us work together. Let us fight together. Let us speak together. Let us sit together. And let us decide the plan of policy. Who will be leader? That is not the matter. All the citizens are the leader of this country. We are the just we fight from the behind.
And the political battlefield has been lit up and fueled by very, very disturbing imagery coming in from the tense hotspots during Ram Navami, with both the Trinamool and the BJP accusing the other of provocation in West Bengal's Howrah. Now Trinamool Member of Parliament Mahua Maitra has released a video from the Ram Navami procession, she claims, where a man can be seen brandishing very clearly a revolver, a pistol in his hand. Mahua Maitra has tweeted saying, "What does celebrating the birth of Lord Ram, the seventh avatar of Vishnu, have to do with brandishing guns and weapons? Or is every festival an excuse for mayhem and rioting?" Putting the ball directly in the BJP's court, and just in the wake of Mamata Banerjee pointing a finger very directly at the BJP, saying that all the vandalism and rioting and provocations was at the BJP's behest. Mahua Maitra now puts up this video where you can clearly see one man holding a pistol. She claims this is from the Ram Navami protests, or the Ram Navami tensions that took place in Howrah yesterday. This video put out by Mahua Maitra. Now let's take a look at where else violence was the big headline during Ram Navami celebrations in other parts of the country. There was Dalkola in West Bengal as well, where we just told you one person lost their lives. Howrah, as we've just shown you, is where tension has continued to take place today as well. Mumbai, Maharashtra, Sambhaji Nagar in Maharashtra is where the tension actually became prevalent and began. Jalgaon in Maharashtra, Munger in Bihar, Hassan in Karnataka, Vadodara in Gujarat, Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. Apologies for that, the wrong graphic played. So here's the national map of where all this has been playing. Let's run through all the locations where where the tension has been taking place in the country. Now let's get the top updates of the violence that unfurled across different parts of the country today. Take a look at this. This is a visual showing a group of people reportedly pelting stones at a mosque in the Fatehpura area in Gujarat's Vadodara. The police had to intervene to control the situation. The police had to use tear gas and lathi charge to disperse the mob. New CCTV images have emerged from Maharashtra's Sambhaji Nagar. Miscreants were seen scuffling with each other during that violent clash. They also tried to break the CCTV camera so that the incident is not recorded. Imagine that. Also, one person has died while several have been injured. They allegedly attacked a police team as well. Clashes erupted between two groups during Ram Navami Shobha Yatra in the Malad area of Mumbai. Police has registered a case against more than 300 people for trying to vitiate the atmosphere, and further investigation is underway. Violence also erupted between two groups which clashed when a Ram Navami procession was passing by a mosque in Karnataka's Hassan. Two people sustained injuries after being stabbed during the attacks. Police said two miscreants from a different group entered the rally, stabbed 4 people and fled the scene. Also in Bihar, Sasaram, after Ram Navami, stones were pelted, bullets were also fired, and now security has been stepped up in the area to maintain law and order. Section 144 has also been imposed in Sasaram. So as we've just shown you in image after image, arson, vandalism, stone pelting from West Bengal to Karnataka to Bihar and Gujarat. Ram Navami celebrations have turned into violent hotspots more than ever before. Last year we saw it in Delhi's Jahangirpuri. This year we're seeing it in across 6 states. But this is not the first time, like I said. Ram Navami rallies have been witnessing violence for many years now, but nowhere close to the scale of what this year has brought. Take a look at how it's been.
Gujarat, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. This year, Ram Navami was marred by violence, with communal clashes reported from more than 5 states. In Karnataka's Hassan, Hindus and Muslims clashed with each other. 4 people were stabbed in the violence. Gujarat's Vadodara witnessed massive clashes. Videos of stone pelting on Ram Navami processions had emerged earlier. A new video has now surfaced where a mob is seen pelting stones at a mosque. An eyewitness shared an account of what happened.
शोभा यात्रा की जब हुआ, जब मैं नमाज में थी, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ कोई को पता नहीं था कि इन लोग ऐसी बवाल करेंगे, तो सब नमाज में, मस्जिद में नमाज में, बच्चे हमारे लड़के सब नमाज में थे और हम घर में नमाज पढ़ रहे थे। हमको पता होता था फरहान लड़के जाते नमाज में, नहीं जाते क्योंकि इन लोग बवाल करने के थे।
Gujarat Home Minister has vowed strict action.
ગુનેગારો પર પગલાં લેવામાં આવશે. રામનવમીની યાત્રામાં જે કોઈ લોકોએ પથ્થર નાખ્યા છે એ ભવિષ્યમાં ક્યારેય પથ્થર તરફ જોશે નહીં, એવા કડક પગલાં ભરવામાં આવશે.
Neighbouring Maharashtra also saw communal flare-up in several locations. The government and the opposition blamed each other for the violence.
अभी सब अगर हम लोग सब कैमरे चेक करेंगे तो उसमें भी सामने आ जाएगी बात, ये दंगे कहाँ से शुरू हुए, किसने इसकी शुरुआत की, जानबूझकर कैसे एक मतलब सब व्हीकल जलाए जा रहे हैं, यहाँ पे तोड़फोड़ हो रही है. मुझे लगता है सारी बातों की जांच होगी, लेकिन संजय राउत जी आप थोड़ा दिमाग ठंडा रखकर सोचिए. छत्रपति संभाजीनगर नाम रखने के बाद ये दंगे हो रहे हैं, ये उनका कहना बहुत गलत है. मुझे लगता है उनकी दिमागी हालत खराब हो गई है.
गवर्नमेंट स्पॉन्सर्ड दंगा है, मुंबई में भी हो रहा है, मुंबई में भी करेंगे ये लोग अभी, क्योंकि डर गए हैं. इसलिए ये हिंदू मुसलमान करके ये फिर राजनीति करना चाहते हैं. लेकिन संभाजी नगर में रैली होगी, सभा होगी.
Violence during Ram Navami has become a common occurrence over the last couple of years. Then why were state governments not prepared for such eventualities? Bureau Report, India Today.
Now let's take a look at where else across the country. Like I said, it wasn't only confined to Delhi, it was in different parts of the country where Ram Navami violence and clashes between groups, marred the festival. Take a look at this. Dalkola in West Bengal. Howrah in West Bengal, where one person, also died in Dalkola. Mumbai in Maharashtra. Malad. Sambhaji Nagar in Maharashtra as well. Jalgaon in Maharashtra, clashes took place yesterday. All the way in the east in Munger in Bihar, to the south Hassan in Karnataka, to the west Vadodara in Gujarat, to the north Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. So this was really a national eruption in different parts of the country. Joining me live now, Pankaj Khelkar, live from Sambhaji Nagar in Maharashtra, where much of the worst of the violence actually took place. We also have Gopi Maniyar live with us from Vadodara. Pankaj, coming to you first, what's the situation there? You know, we've seen some disturbing imagery that came in from Sambhaji Nagar yesterday. What's the situation today, though?
Shiv Aroor, some of the incidents that have happened in last 2 days are very shocking. First of all, the mob had pelted stones, set police vans on ablaze, they were set on fire, but there was no damage to the property. The shops over here, they are intact. Secondly, when the FIR was filed against 7 people along with 400 to 500 unknown people, one of the person who lost his life in the bullet injury, he is also being named in the FIR on 2nd or 3rd position. That is, he is one of the prime accused. But shockingly, the person was staying and he was behind this gate, what we can see in the CCTV footage. The residents of this building have also spoken to India Today, and they also claim that the person who lost his life was behind this gate. There was no chance for him to come outside this gate because the gate was properly locked with 3 to 4 chains. Here you can see the chains are still there. So CCTV footage is also there and chains are also there, and the police, public over here are claiming that police have falsely implicated. So what kind of investigation is going on? If this person was not on the road, some other people were there, the miscreants were there. So instead of first tracking those miscreants, identifying them, the same day or another day, 600 people have been booked, but one innocent has also been booked in this FIR who lost his life.
Pankaj, stay with me. Gopi is also live with me. She's been in the city where a lot of that violence actually took place yesterday. Gopi, आज का situation क्या है? कल काफी violence हुआ था, काफी पथराव भी हुआ था, छत से लोग पत्थर मार रहे थे processions पे. आज का situation क्या है, गोपी?
बिल्कुल शिव, आज की सिचुएशन की अगर बात करें तो सामान्य ट्रैफिक है। सुबह से ही नॉर्मल सिचुएशन बनी हुई है। यहाँ तक कि आज फ्राइडे था और रमज़ान चल रहा है, तो जो जुम्मे की नमाज थी वो भी नॉर्मल तरीके से ही हुई है। पुलिस प्रोटेक्शन काफ़ी ज़्यादा था इस पूरे इलाके में, क्योंकि पुलिस पेट्रोलिंग लगातार यहाँ पे हो रही है, कहीं ना कहीं क्योंकि काफ़ी संवेदनशील इलाका है। वहीं अगर पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन की बात करें तो अराउंड 45 लोगों के खिलाफ FIR रजिस्टर किया गया है, जिसमें से 23 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया है पुलिस के जरिए, जिसमें 5 महिलाएं हैं। देखिए, पहली बार होगा कि राइटिंग के मामले में इस तरीके से 5 महिलाओं को भी पुलिस ने गिरफ्तार किया है, उनके खिलाफ भी मामला दर्ज किया है और राइटिंग का ये पूरा मामला दर्ज किया है, जबकि 22 अभी भी एब्सकॉन्डिंग है। पुलिस के पास इनके CCTV फुटेजेस है। और शिव, सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात, ये जो सारे लोगों के खिलाफ जो FIR रजिस्टर हुआ है 45 लोगों के खिलाफ, उनको आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है CCTV फुटेज के जरिए और उसके बाद उनको रजिस्टर किया गया, उनके खिलाफ FIR रजिस्टर की गई है। तो कहीं ना कहीं पुलिस भी अब बहुत ही स्ट्रिक्ट है इस मामले में, और जिस तरीके से होम मिनिस्टर ने कहा था कि दोबारा से वो कभी पत्थर भी देखेंगे भी नहीं, इस तरीके का हम माहौल करके रख देंगे, तो शायद वही कर रहे हैं कि सख्त से सख्त जो कार्यवाही है वो करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। पूरे प्रूफ के साथ लोगों को अरेस्ट किया जा रहा है। शिव,
Gopi, अपना ख्याल भी रखिए. Thank you very much. Stay safe to Pankaj as well. Both of our reporters joining us from 2 of the worst hit hotspots in Western India, which is basically in Sambhaji Nagar and Vadodara. Our reporters will continue to be there to track that investigation. Thank you very much to the both of you for joining me. Now let's go to poll-bound Karnataka, which also reflected certain amounts of violence, this time in Hassan, which is basically the bastion of the JDS and its patriarch Deve Gowda. Well, violence on the occasion of Ram Navami reached Karnataka for sure in different places, where a clash broke out over a Ram Navami procession that was passing by a mosque in Karnataka's Hassan. The incident took place near the Channayapatna when Bajrang Dal activists were holding a Ram Navami rally. As per the police, 2 miscreants from another community entered the rally, stabbed 4 people and fled the scene. While the injured have been shifted to a hospital, the police have called this a minor scuffle and have arrested 9 people. Meanwhile, the Muslim community has also filed a complaint against the Bajrang Dal activists for carrying stones, canes and chanting communally charged slogans. Well, these images are from after the violence took place. Complaints have been filed. 9 people have already been detained. FIRs have been registered. Let's get a word in from India Today's Sagai Raj joining us live from Bengaluru. Sagai, sad to hear about what happened in Hassan, but the good news is, and confirm if I'm right or wrong, that the violence was not widespread. It was contained to just Hassan, or were there other instances as well in Karnataka?
Thankfully, only one particular incident which has been reported from arson, and police was quick enough to bring the situation under control, and 9 people have been arrested, and there is a complaint and a counter complaint which has been registered. What we get to learn is a group of people who were taking a rally of this Ram Navami festival had shouted sloganeering against another community in one particular area, and there was an argument and 2 people were being stabbed and 2 others were being injured in this particular minor scuffle. And police was quick enough to act on this, and the situation is completely peaceful.
Sagai, thanks very much for joining us on that. Good to hear that there was only one incident in Karnataka. Remember, poll-bound state, communal tensions have been known to be high, especially around elections. So it's always good news when there was only one contained incident of violence and some injuries. We'll keep tracking that story. Remember, in parts of Bengal, that violence is continuing. An uneasy calm, like our reporters are reporting from all of these hotspots. Very quick break here on 5 Live. On the other side, from the hotspots of India to the big political battlefield in Washington and New York, where Donald Trump has just become the first ex-president to face criminal charges. He's going to be turning himself in on Tuesday after being indicted for the big porn star payoff scandal. Is this endgame Trump or the beginning of a new rise? That's next.
ये कहा जा रहा है कि मोदी सरकार ने गौतम अडानी की बहुत मदद की है। उस पर अभी तक देश ने आपका पक्ष नहीं सुना है, और आज मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है और ये मंच है जहां आप बता सकते हैं लोगों को।
देश की सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक चीज का संज्ञान लिया, एक कमेटी बनाई है, 2 रिटायर्ड जजों की अध्यक्षता में कमेटी बनाई। उसके सामने सभी लोगों के पास जो तथ्य है वो रखने चाहिए, किसी को नहीं बख्शना चाहिए अगर कुछ गलत हुआ है तो, और वो न्यायिक प्रक्रिया पर भरोसा रखना चाहिए। उसके बाद में भी अगर लगे रिपोर्ट ठीक नहीं है तो जरूर उठाना चाहिए। ये प्रक्रिया को आप फॉलो नहीं करोगे और आपको लगता है कि ऐसे मुद्दे को उठाकर देश को गुमराह कर दोगे, ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता है।
Ram Charan is one of the biggest stars of Telugu film industry. The actor who made his debut in 2007 with Chiruta has proved his acting credentials time and again and delivered some of the biggest Telugu hits. Magadira. His career might have gotten off to a slow start, but the turning point in Charan's career came in 2009 with the release of Magadira.
మేలు ముసుకు రణదేవి చేతిలో ఉందమ్మా. భైరవే గెలుస్తాడు.
The fantasy action film directed by S.S. Rajamouli was a rousing success at the box office and became the first film to cross 50, 60 and 70 crores in the Telugu film industry. Orange. Ram then starred in 2010's Orange. The romantic drama, which was directed by Bhaskar, might have failed to deliver at the box office but has gained cult status over the years. Backed by terrific music, both fans and critics appreciated Charan's performance.
అది కూడా పోతే
నా కర్మ కొద్ది అది కూడా పోతుంది. ఇంకొంచెం ప్రేమించడానికి ట్రై చేస్తా.
Yavadu. The actor then delivered another power-packed performance with the action film Yavadu. His third film in which the actor was seen in a dual role. The actor played both characters with different shades and variations. The film went on to collect about 60 crores at the box office.
నాకు ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ గోల్ ఉంది.
Dhruva. Ram then played an IPS officer in 2016, starrer Dhruva. The film, which also starred Rakul Preet as the female lead, was high on action and drama.
Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Donald Trump, the Donald, whatever you want to call him, he's a man who loves spectacle, and he's certainly a man who loves scoring firsts in the world. We don't know what he's going to think about this one, however. Historic indictment of the 76-year-old former US president makes him the first former president of the US to face criminal charges. A New York grand jury has indicted Donald Trump over hush money worth $130,000 made in payments to porn star Stormy Daniels during his 2016 campaign to make her shut up about their sexual encounter back in 2006. And here's the rub. Donald Trump will have to surrender himself come this Tuesday. Take a look at this report.
A grand jury in New York voted to indict former President Donald Trump, two sources said on Thursday, making him the first ex-president to face criminal charges in U.S. history. The indictment arising from an investigation into hush money paid to porn star Stormy Daniels could reshape the 2024 presidential race. The specific charges related to the probe led by Democratic Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg are not yet known. The New York Times reported that the indictment will likely be announced in the coming days. A lawyer representing Trump said she was informed of the indictment, but did not know when he would surrender. Bragg's office did not immediately respond to requests for comment.
We're witnessing American history. Never has a former president been indicted or charged with the crime. And that's what we're seeing here.
Nima Rahmani is a former federal prosecutor and the president of West Coast Trial Lawyers.
Trump will be given the opportunity to appear in court. He's not going to be arrested. Now, he will be booked, which means he'll be fingerprinted. He'll have his mugshot taken. His attorneys, of course, will plead not guilty for him. I don't expect there to be any pretrial resolution in this case, and we're going to see the most politically charged trial in American history.
The grand jury began hearing evidence in January about Trump's role in the hush money payment to Daniels days before the 2016 presidential election that he ended up winning. Daniels, an adult film actress whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, has said she received the money in exchange for keeping silent about a sexual encounter she had with Trump in 2006. The former president's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, has said Trump directed hush money payments to Daniels. Trump has denied having an affair with her. Federal prosecutors examined the Daniels payoff in 2018, leading to a prison sentence for Cohen, but no charges against Trump. No former sitting U.S. president has ever faced criminal charges. Trump also faces criminal investigations led by a special counsel appointed by the U.S. Attorney General over his handling of classified government documents after leaving office and his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. He also faces an investigation led by a local prosecutor in Georgia into whether he unlawfully tried to overturn his 2020 election defeat in that state. Trump previously said he would continue campaigning for the Republican Party's nomination in the presidential race if he was charged with a crime.
Let's go straight across to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan, who's been tracking all of these developments very closely. Geeta, what does this do to the re-election campaign of Donald Trump? And personally, I can't wait to see what happens on Tuesday. Donald Trump loves the cameras. He loves spectacle. I wonder how this is going to play out.
Well, he's already begun by saying that this is absolute political persecution, and that certainly is going to be his side of the story through and through. But this is not the only case. This is one of the minor cases, like we've pointed out in the report, Shiv. There are many serious charges against him, many cases pending. We'll have to see how those cases turn out in the days to come, and it is going to be a very difficult ask for Donald Trump to actually be nominated as the Republican nominee for the presidential elections. It's the Republican primaries that we're looking at, and there are very strong contenders there. So a difficult road ahead, but we know Trump to be a fighter. He loves the cameras. He will have his own shenanigans. So let's wait it out and see how Trump is really going to play out this entire scenario. He has seen adversity, Shiv, and he's fought adversities and won in more than one occasion. So let's wait and see how this turns out. But this certainly is historic, given that this is the first time either a current or a former president of the United States of America has actually been charged.
Very, very interesting. Curious to know, Geeta, very quickly, whether there's been, a kind of unofficial inside view that the Indian government or the Indian Foreign Office is taking on these developments, because it's clear that countries are monitoring what's happening in other countries these days.
Well, the Indian side, Shiv, it is very important. Republican Party per se is a party that the Indian administration engages very, very closely.
Yes.
Donald Trump is one of those leaders in the Republican Party that still holds the money bags. So we'll have to wait and see how that really plays out, whether it's going to be Donald Trump himself or somebody that he endorses later.
Right.
And that's the reason why the Indian side will not be taking sides, will continue engaging the Republicans, and if need be, will continue engaging Trump.
Interesting. Can't wait till next week to see how this actually plays out. Geeta, appreciate it. Thanks very much for putting that into perspective for us. Lots of curiosity, of course, about what happens next for Donald Trump. What does indictment mean? What happens to him? Is he going to be behind bars? How does it actually play out? Let me just clarify it for you. Now, the grand jury investigation is what will basically happen next. Donald Trump has been indicted. He's been indicted, which means he's been the first US president to face criminal charges after being indicted by that New York grand jury over hush money payments. Now, there are two options staring at Donald Trump. Either voluntary surrender or he faces arrest. We hear he's going to surrender. Trump can be processed as a defendant, and his fingerprints and photos will be taken like any other person who's arrested. After that, Trump will face what is called an arraignment, which will include public court appearances, charges against him read out, and an unsealed envelope containing those charges made available to the public. Trump's team can also enter a not guilty plea at this time. After that, post the arraignment, Trump will go through what is called pre-trial hearings that will include defense motions and possibly damning witness accounts. Perhaps Stormy Daniels will take the stand as well. Trump will then face his actual trial. If Trump is found guilty, he will be sentenced after that. If he's not found guilty, he will be acquitted of all and the charges against him, and then he will continue. Very important to also note, viewer, that the current case against him does not bar him legally from contesting for the Republican nomination for a re-election to the presidency next year. Very important to note. We'll be tracking that story very closely. Taking a very quick break. On the other side, has one of the world's biggest luxury brands, Dior, finally woken up to the Indian market after saturating the world? Is the big India debut of Christian Dior a sign of rising India and the luxury brand's absolute failure to ignore India any longer?
Your case has attracted so much of attention because Rahul Gandhi has been disqualified under the same provisions, Section 883 of the Representation of People's Act. Give us your sense. Do you believe that this law is the right one, or do you believe this law is compromising the rights of members of parliament, that you get disqualified even before you can go in appeal?
So there are two aspects of it. As far as law is concerned, law is equal for everybody. That was the Lily Thomas case, which gone into the serious aspect of giving equality to everyone. There is no special consideration for the elected members like MP or MLA. That is fine. When a member of parliament, sitting MP or MLA, gets convicted by the court of law, automatically he will get disqualified. Absolutely, there is no issue on that, because law should be at par with everybody. Now, once that the Supreme Court struck down based on the this Lily Thomas case, but somehow that laws which is happened to the public representative has to be reinstated somewhere. By that only, the Supreme Court has said in the this Lok Prahari case in 2018 that once the apex court suspend the conviction of the lower court, which made the disqualification of the sitting MP, shall the correct word is the disqualification factor shall not operate. That is the coverage of striking down of the People's Representative Act 8/3 and giving a chance for a fair representation to the sitting member of parliament. In this case, what is the issue here is whether the government is using it like a tool to to suppress or to silence the oppositions. This is a question which is now around resounding everywhere. Now, in my case, what happened was that the Lok Sabha Secretariat or the government was so hurry in disqualifying me.
A star-studded evening at Mumbai's Gateway of India as Dior, one of the world's biggest luxury brands, held their Big India debut show against that historic backdrop. A display of intricate designs with an amalgamation of Indian culture. Dior is the first ever show by a luxury European brand to showcase in India. Is this Dior's big moment or is this India's big moment? Watch this report.
The much-awaited Dior fashion showcase was talk of the town. The Dior Fall 2023 show by Maria Grazia Chiuri took place beneath the iconic Gateway of India in Mumbai. For the first time ever, a European luxury mega brand hosting a standalone showcase in India. This was a collaboration between Maria Grazia, the creative director of Dior, and the Chanakya School of Craft, which is a non-profit organization. Karishma Swali of Chanakya and Maria of Christian Dior have shared a long-standing friendship that confluenced into craftsmanship, passion, art, and the showcase that will forever be etched in history. In fact, the Chanakya Dior retrospective exhibit was one for the history books, with a maze of galleries showcasing craft-embellished designs by Dior, juxtaposed with artifacts from India. The runway saw classic colors and intricate embroidery, with a homage to the Indian silk, silhouettes, prints, and choice of embellishments. It was an appropriate showcase for India that paid a tribute to our heritage. Right from the majestic decor at the backdrop of Gateway of India, to the live classical music, the Indian touch was palpable. Rekha and Sonam Kapoor were spotted together at the showcase. Sonam, who's known to be a style diva, wore a Dior outfit with a crystal-studded mini bag. She paired it with Indian jewelry. Anushka Sharma's mini Lady Dior bag complemented her outfit and she walked in with husband Virat Kohli. Karishma Kapoor went for a band gala dress with a Dior bag. Masaba wore a gajra, giving an Indian twist to her outfit with an uber contemporary silhouette. Lifestyle Bureau, India Today.
And joining me live for an expert view on the Dior Big Show in Mumbai is Sonal Ved, Group Digital Editor of Bazaar India. Welcome, Sonal. Thanks for your time. You know, for years, Sonal, India has been, a huge part of the fashion business. Embroidery, the craftsmanship, the textiles have been sourced from here. But for the first time, like we saw last night, Dior did this full pre-fall show, turning Mumbai's Gateway of India into a ramp. What does that tell us about India's rise as a global fashion market? And what did you think of the show?
I think I'm going to go back to, reminding you the theme of your own conclave, which is the India movement. And that's what we're seeing in fashion. We're seeing it across spectrum. We saw it in entertainment with Natu Natu, and now we're seeing that in fashion. The fact that India was chosen by Dior is, I think, just stirring the pot in the right direction. But the pot has been cooking for a while now. Recently, Christian Louboutin was in India. He credited his artisans in Nagaland for a cane project. So I think the fact that now luxury fashion brands are starting to give credit back to the artisans is where I see the right direction happening. So definitely this means like a lot of international luxury brands will be inspired to hopefully credit the Indian artisans who've been doing their work for like years now.
We did see some stunning looks worn by guests in attendance, actors, cricketers, all the big people were there. Did anyone stand out for you? And as I said, I wanted to know, what you thought of the show itself.
I definitely thought that the show was a lot of restrained luxury. It was not in-your-face luxury, which I think is a direction a lot of fashion houses are going, because the kind of consumer is changing from the millennial to the Gen Z. So in that sense, the show was reflecting that. I'm not saying that it had a lot of Gen Z silhouettes. The silhouettes were extremely Western, and the colors and the embroidery was, of course, very Indian, so it was a coming together of these things very seamlessly. And in terms of who looked the best or which celebrities stood out, it's hard to pick that with Rekha being on the floor. There's Taj on one side, there is the Gateway on one side, and then there is Rekha, so it was kind of like an icons only show.
Icons only show, and I'm sure we'll be hearing and reading more about it in the days to come. Really appreciate your expert view on that, Sonal, and for your time here on 5 Live. Thanks so much for joining me with that. Well, that's a wrap on the show. Thanks so much for watching. Up next, 6 p.m. Prime with Akshara. Politics over India's new parliament, a day after Prime Minister's surprise visit to the spectacular new parliament building. The Congress has called the project a waste of money. We'll tell you why that comment is total hypocrisy.